Hi there, Greg Day, Security CTO for Symantec. Welcome to another video blog. Today I want to talk about our June intelligence report. What have we really seen over the last month? Well, a couple of things that I wanted to highlight. Obviously, Flamer was very much in the media, and so in the intelligence report we talked a lot about where it came from, the links back to Stuxnet, and what it really did. Now, the challenge there is, I think a lot of us misconstrue this kind of information. We look at it and go, it's very sophisticated, it's aimed at very high-end organizations, it's just not a problem we're ever going to see. And the reality is very different. While we see these APTs and they're very a small subset, what we're seeing behind it is this continual growth of just persistent and targeted attacks using all the traditional cybercrime toolkits and malware generation toolkits out there. And just to highlight this growth, over the first half of this year, we've seen a 24% increase in these persistent and targeted style of attacks. And now, again, a lot of us may look at this and think they're aimed at military or government organizations, and certainly defense and pharmaceuticals seem to have been the most common target. We've seen all industries being targeted, everything from multiple times each day to at least once every 5 days. Equally, you've seen it's not just the large organizations that are actually being attacked. What we saw in the first half of this year was a real growth in that small sector. Organizations with less than 250 employees moved from being quite a small percentage, 18%, to actually doubling over the first half of this year. Now 36% of these targeted attacks hitting small organizations. So what does all of this mean? Well, why are we talking about this? The key thing here is not to make that assumption, it's not my problem. If I'm a large organization, then I need to potentially look at whether I'm being targeted or actually my supply chain is being targeted. And I think what more and more companies are starting to realize is we need to make sure we don't mistake the trust we have with our supply chain in the assumption that they have as good a security as ours. If you're a smaller organization, then the reality is that you're just as much a target as anyone else. So you need to start to look at how would you identify these, what kind of controls have you got to then be able to monitor, block, and most importantly, protect that most critical information you store within your organization. The second thing that really stood out to me in the if you like, the June intelligence was a bit of a back to basics. We still see that regular attacks like Salty and Ramnet are making up 23% of everything we saw. And these attacks have been going on for a long time, just going through different iterations. And so the key message here is make sure whilst we're looking at the new high-profile threats that are coming out, we don't take our eye off doing the most basic and fundamental things well. Keeping our antivirus up to date, making sure that we've got patch management in place. Again, we saw more zero-day vulnerabilities being used this month. So I think two key messages from this month's intelligence update blog. One, targeted persistent threats are certainly on the increase. I'm focusing more now on small organizations as well as the enterprise. And second, make sure we don't miss out on those most fundamental of security activities, understanding our organization, making sure we keep visibility of keeping those security controls up to date, in place to ensure that just the regular attacks aren't sneaking through the cracks in our security whilst potentially we take our eye off the ball. So with that, let me say thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you on the next blog.